Good morning. I want to share a medical truth today that rarely makes it into the glossy brochures in an oncology waiting room. How you handle the very first 30 minutes after waking up is arguably the most powerful preventative step you can take to shield your body from cancer after age 50. This isn't about an expensive prescription, a grueling surgery, or a high-end clinic. It's about the simple, deliberate actions you take before you even look at your phone. And if you happen to be over 60 or 70, please listen closely because your cellular defense systems need this guidance more than ever. I'm DrSarahAris, and welcome back to our wellness community. As an integrative physician with 2 decades of clinical experience, I've dedicated my life to understanding how our immune system either aggressively fights off cancer or tragically allows it to take root. I've worked alongside brilliant minds in clinical research, studying the mechanics of angiogenesis, how rogue cells literally build their own blood supply to survive. The most beautiful thing I've learned is that you hold tremendous power. A landmark review published in Nature Reviews Cancer revealed that a staggering 40% of all cancer diagnoses could be prevented purely through how we live and eat. That means millions of people have the capacity to protect themselves if they only knew how. Today, I will walk you through 6 daily morning habits, starting with the simplest and ending with the most crucial, that are clinically shown to cut off the fuel supply to cancer cells. And I have a surprise for you later in our list. It involves something most of us blindly throw in the trash every morning, and you won't want to miss it. Before we dive into the list, I'd love to hear from you directly. Leave a comment below with your age, and let me know if cancer has touched your life or your loved ones. I read every single one of your stories, and they help me tailor this medical advice exactly to what you need. Let us begin with habit number 6. It is incredibly simple, almost deceptively so, yet a surprising majority of adults over 50 neglect it completely. We are talking about morning hydration, but it requires a very specific approach. When you wake up from a full night's rest, your body is naturally in a mild state of dehydration. Your blood has thickened slightly. Your lymphatic system, which acts as the body's internal waste management network, is moving slowly, meaning the concentration of cellular toxins is at its absolute peak for the day. This creates the exact acidic, oxygen-poor environment where cancer cells love to grow. A fascinating 10-year study from the Karolinska Institute in Sweden observed over 2,000 adults. They found that people who habitually drank 16 to 20 ounces of water within their first 30 minutes awake had significantly lower levels of inflammatory markers, like C-reactive protein and interleukin-6, than those who waited to drink fluids. Think of inflammation as the soil where cancer takes root. By lowering it, we make the body deeply inhospitable to those dangerous cells. For those of you over 60, this is absolutely vital. As we age, our kidneys lose about 30% of their overnight filtering capacity, leaving a much higher concentration of metabolic waste in your system by dawn. Drinking water right away acts as a beautiful internal flush, waking up your kidneys, oxygenating your cells, and getting that lymph fluid flowing. To elevate this even further, squeeze the juice of half a lemon into that water. This introduces limonene, a potent compound studied at the City of Hope Cancer Center for its remarkable ability to trigger apoptosis, which is essentially a programmed self-destruct sequence inside precancerous cells. Your body knows how to clear out the bad cells, and limonene gives it the gentle push it needs. The best way to build this habit is to place a large glass of water on your bedside table tonight. First, drink it before your feet even touch the floor in the morning. Squeeze in your lemon and then take a brief 5-minute walk around your house. Because your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like your heart, it relies entirely on your physical movement to circulate. That lovely combination of water, lemon, and light movement builds an incredible foundation for cellular health every single day. Now, let's move to habit number 5. This involves something sitting in your kitchen right now that you might actually be a little hesitant to enjoy. It sounds a bit controversial, but please stay with me because the clinical evidence is truly fascinating. We are talking about coffee, specifically 1 to 2 cups of black coffee enjoyed within the first hour of your day. I know many of you have been advised to limit your coffee intake, and for certain health conditions, that is absolutely appropriate. However, when we look specifically at cancer prevention, the data is very hard to ignore. A massive review published in the British Medical Journal looked at over 500,000 people globally and found that enjoying moderate amounts of coffee was linked to a 20% drop in the risk of developing certain cancers, like liver, colorectal, and endometrial cancers. The magic here lies in powerful antioxidants called chlorogenic acids These beautiful compounds work inside your cells to help balance your blood sugar by improving how sensitive you are to insulin. This is incredibly important for cancer prevention. High insulin levels act almost like a green light for cancer cells to grow. Imagine insulin as a master key. When there is too much of it floating around, it unlocks doors we desperately want to keep closed, including the ones that let rogue cells multiply. Chlorogenic acids help keep those insulin levels beautifully balanced. As we cross our 70s, our natural insulin sensitivity drops, which is one reason cancer risks rise during that decade. By drinking black coffee, and it must be black, as sugary creamers largely erase these benefits, you are directly supporting your metabolic health against aging's vulnerabilities. Try enjoying your coffee right after your morning lemon water, not before. You can even stir in a dash of cinnamon. Research from the University of Michigan highlights a compound in cinnamon called cinnamaldehyde, which actively blocks a protein that cancer cells use to build their blood supply. 1 to 2 cups is the sweet spot for most of us over 50. Anything beyond 3 cups can raise your cortisol and disrupt your sleep, which outweighs these gentle benefits. Moving on to number 4, we are looking at a morning window that so many of us accidentally overlook. Habit number 4 is getting natural morning sunlight. Now, I am absolutely not suggesting you go sunbathing or do anything to risk skin damage. We are simply talking about letting 10 to 15 minutes of natural daylight reach your eyes and skin within the first hour of waking up, ideally before 10 in the morning when the UV index is still very low and safe. This goes much deeper than just getting your vitamin D, although that is a wonderful bonus. When early daylight enters your eyes, it sets off a beautiful hormonal symphony, regulating your cortisol and your melatonin. We often think of melatonin merely as a sleep aid, but it is so much more. Brilliant research from the MD Anderson Cancer Center has shown that the melatonin your body naturally produces acts as a fierce anti-cancer defender. It actively blocks tumor growth by suppressing an enzyme connected to hormone-sensitive cancers, like breast and prostate cancer. The vital thing to understand is that your body's ability to produce that deep, healing melatonin at night depends almost entirely on whether you received enough natural light that morning. After age 65, our pineal gland, the tiny part of the brain that makes melatonin, naturally starts to shrink. By 75, we might only be making a third of the melatonin we did in our 40s. This natural decline is a huge, often missed reason why cancer risks go up as we age. Stepping into the morning light is a completely free, natural way to fight back, sending a strong signal to your brain to produce robust melatonin when night falls. Step outside shortly after you wake up. Leave the sunglasses inside for just a short window. You don't need to stare at the sun, just let the open sky fill your vision. If you pair this with your gentle morning walk from habit number 6, you are beautifully layering 2 potent protective practices into one 10-minute routine outdoors. Before we continue to our top 3 habits, if you are finding this gentle guidance helpful, please take a moment to click the like button right now. It truly helps this wellness community reach more seniors who might be searching for this exact support. And if you haven't joined us yet, please subscribe and click the little bell so we can stay connected every week. We are about to cover the most powerful steps, and you absolutely do not want to miss number 1. Let's gracefully transition to habit number 3. This is where the clinical science becomes truly awe-inspiring, and it involves nurturing a part of your body you might not think about when you first wake up. I am talking about embracing fermented foods in the morning, specifically pure, unsweetened yogurt full of live cultures, or fermented vegetables like a bright kimchi or sauerkraut. There is a profound connection here that even many wonderful general practitioners haven't fully integrated into their advice yet. The health of your gut microbiome, those trillions of tiny, beautiful bacteria residing in your digestive tract, is directly linked to how effectively your immune system hunts down and clears out cancer cells. A groundbreaking 2018 study published in the journal Science by the incredible team at MD Anderson revealed something astonishing. Patients with a rich, diverse gut microbiome responded beautifully to immunotherapy, with success rates up to 40% higher than those with poor gut health. These tiny organisms aren't just along for the ride. They are active, vigilant guardians patrolling your system for rogue cells. Here is why this is so urgent for our community members over 60. As we age, we often experience something called inflammaging. Or a chronic, quiet inflammation that slowly depletes our gut's diversity. By the time many reach their 70s, they have lost half the microbial richness they possessed in their 40s. But the beautiful news is that this is entirely reversible. Giving your digestive system live. Encourager encanta bosno. Fermented foods first thing in the morning is a gentle, direct way to reseed your inner garden. Let me share a quick story about a lovely patient of mine, a 72-year-old woman named Margaret. She came to me terrified of her family's deep history of colon cancer, and her inflammatory markers were worryingly high. She felt powerless. We gently introduced this morning wellness routine, heavily focusing on fermented foods, and the very next habit I'm about to share. Just 18 months later, her inflammation had beautifully normalized, and her gastroenterologist was stunned to find 0 precancerous polyps during her screening. Her specialist called it a medical marvel. Margaret just calls it her morning ritual. For your own routine, look for a plain, full-fat yogurt that clearly lists at least 3 live strains, particularly Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium. Enjoy it in the morning, alongside some fiber-rich berries or ground flaxseed. That fiber acts as a prebiotic. Think of the yogurt as planting the seeds, and the fiber as the nutrient-rich soil that helps them blossom. Together, they create an inner environment that fiercely protects against cancer. Now we arrive at number 2. This is the secret I promised you at the very beginning of our time together today. The precious compound most of us mindlessly wash down the sink every single morning. I am talking about the extraordinary extract found inside green tea leaves. The active compound here is called EGCG, and it is the star of some of the most rigorous, replicated anti-cancer research of the last 3 decades. It is so structurally brilliant that pharmaceutical companies have spent fortunes trying to copy it, but they simply cannot match what nature elegantly designed in a humble tea leaf. A massive meta-analysis in the International Journal of Cancer looked at 51 independent studies. They discovered that enjoying 2 to 3 cups of green tea daily, starting with your first cup in the morning, significantly dropped the risk of breast, prostate, lung, and colorectal cancers by anywhere from 18 to 42%. Mechanistically, EGCG is a powerhouse. It gracefully blocks angiogenesis, starving tumors of blood, while simultaneously waking up your natural killer immune cells and calming a pathway that cancer uses to replicate. But here's the most crucial part for our aging bodies. As we get older, our protective tumor suppressor genes can accidentally get switched off, a process called epigenetic silencing. The genes are still there, they've just fallen asleep. Brilliant research from the Linus Pauling Institute shows that EGCG can actually help gently wake those protective genes back up. You have a cancer-fighting blueprint already inside you. Green tea helps turn the lights back on. To bring this into your life, brew 1 cup of high-quality loose-leaf Japanese sencha or matcha within your first 45 minutes awake. Keep the water warm, around 160 to 175 degrees, but never boiling, as extreme heat destroys the delicate EGCG. Please skip the sugar, but remember that lemon we talked about? Squeeze the other half into your tea. Research from Purdue University shows that vitamin C protects the EGCG, boosting your body's absorption by an astonishing 13 times. I always think of a dear patient named Thomas, a retired teacher who came to me at 67 after a terrifying prostate cancer scare. He was a devout coffee drinker and had never touched tea. We compromised. He kept his morning coffee, but gracefully added green tea to his routine. 2 years later, his PSA levels had completely stabilized. He calls it the best 30 cents he invests in his health every day. To maximize this beautiful habit, pair your tea with a little healthy fat, like a few walnuts or a slice of avocado, because EGCG is fat-soluble and loves to be absorbed that way. And finally, we have arrived at number 1. This is the most extraordinary, rigorously validated, and yet most frequently overlooked morning habit for cancer prevention over the age of 50. Are you ready? It is a gentle practice of intermittent fasting, specifically allowing your body a digestive rest by not eating for at least 13 to 16 hours from your last bite of dinner the night before. I know some of you might be slightly disappointed, perhaps hoping for a miraculous new superfood or a vitamin. I completely understand. But I need to tell you, with all the love and clinical certainty I have, that no supplement on earth comes close to the cellular protection of a beautifully managed morning fast. The biology at work here is simply breathtaking. When you give your body an extended break from digestion, especially in that magical window between 10 and 16 hours, you trigger a deeply restorative process called autophagy. The word literally translates to self-eating, which might sound a bit frightening, but it is actually a beautiful internal housekeeping system. Your cells actively seek out and break down their damaged, dysfunctional, and precancerous parts. Imagine a gentle cleaning crew sweeping through your cellular factories, recycling the broken machinery. Your body is naturally consuming the building blocks of cancer before cancer has a chance to consume you. This isn't alternative medicine. This is Nobel Prize-winning science, awarded to Dr. Yoshinori Osumi in 2016. A profound study in the journal Cell Metabolism tracked over 2,000 women for 7 years. They discovered that those who fasted for fewer than 13 hours overnight faced a 36% higher risk of their breast cancer returning. Just by slightly shifting when they ate, they dramatically altered their risk. For our beautiful aging bodies, this is even more critical. After 60, the tiny power plants inside our cells, called mitochondria, start to wear down. They produce more cellular exhaust, which damages our DNA and creates the exact environment where cancer is born. Autophagy gently sweeps away these failing mitochondria. Without this regular fasting window, damaged cells pile up like uncollected garbage, which is a massive driver of age-related cancer risk. Practically, this is much gentler than it sounds. If you finish your evening meal by 7 o'clock, you simply wait until 8 or 9 the next morning to enjoy your breakfast. During those morning hours, your lemon water, your beautiful green tea, and your black coffee are perfectly fine and will not break your fast. In fact, incredible research from the Salk Institute shows that black coffee actually amplifies autophagy. Your morning coffee and your fast work together in perfect harmony to protect you. If 13 hours feels daunting, simply start with 12. Gently bump your dinner up by 30 minutes. As your body adapts over a few weeks, your hunger hormones will beautifully recalibrate. What starts as a slight challenge soon becomes, as my patients often tell me, the most mentally clear and energizing part of their day. When you are ready to break your fast, bring in those fermented foods, healthy fats, and green tea to nourish that healthy gut. You have just created a magnificent cascade of healing. Fasting awakens autophagy. Morning light balances melatonin. Hydration flushes toxins. Green tea switches on protective genes. Fermented foods bolster your immune system, and coffee manages your insulin. Each step is lovely on its own, but woven together, they create a morning routine that makes your body fiercely inhospitable to cancer. As we bring our time together to a close today, I want you to feel deeply empowered. I have sat with patients devastated by a diagnosis, and I have also rejoiced with patients in their 80s who are thriving far beyond what anyone expected, not because of lucky genetics, but because of these gentle daily choices. The science we discussed today is real, deeply researched, and completely accessible to you. Not next year, but tomorrow morning when you wake up. Please remember that your body's profound capacity for healing and resilience does not simply expire when you turn 70 or 80. All the brilliant research we talked about is linked down in the description, so please explore it and discuss it with your own physician. I want you to enjoy a vibrant, independent life. I want you to be the radiant example in your family of what is possible. If our time together today brought you comfort and value, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so we can continue this wellness journey together every week. And please, leave a comment right now, tell me your age, and let me know which of these 6 beautiful habits you are going to embrace tomorrow morning. I truly read every single one. Take gentle care of yourself, and I will see you in our next video.